Good afternoon, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the menopause, which is a subject that's been requested. And I've got my cup of tea here today because it's an interesting topic. I'd like to talk about perimenopause also because it is the lead up to the menopause. And many women experience different symptoms leading up to the menopause. Now, I hear a lot of people say that, yes, my period has stopped, or it's increased or decreased or getting worse. I've heard women complain about headaches. I've heard women complain about not feeling themselves. I heard them complain about not being able to sleep, low sex drive, skin itches, depression, and basically not feeling like themselves. Now, all of these can be symptoms of the menopause or the perimenopause. What I'd like to say here is that every woman experiences the menopause and perimenopause differently. So we can't go on other people's experiences. We have to go by how we feel. Now, what's important here is to understand your own body, because if something changes, you'll then know that something isn't right, and then that will be your cue to check it out. I found that when I was going through my perimenopause, the only thing that I really noticed was my periods. They were actually slowing down, and some months I wouldn't have a period and then another month I would. But then it stopped for about 9 months, and then it decided to show an appearance again, which was quite disappointing because I was getting used to not having it there. But every woman have different experiences. I think the perimenopause lasted about a year and a half for me, and then I went into the menopause. So I did go after the 9 months of not seeing a period, and it came back. It then stopped again, and it stopped completely. So it was just like that anxious wait for a year, because I always say that a year after not having a period, you're actually in the menopause. So that was my cue to say that, yes, this is it. And then I decided to notice quite a few other symptoms. So I was having hot flashes. So I made sure that I layered up. So I'd have on a t-shirt, then I'd have a cardigan on, so that it gives me the room to take off the layers if I actually do get hot. And I found that I had to change my eating habits. I found that when I cut down my carbohydrates, the hot flashes were a lot less, and they didn't last as long as they used to. So I found that doing that really helped, cutting my carbs and eating more whole grain carb. So sweet potatoes, brown rice, my yams, my pumpkins. So those kind of foods helped me because they are lower sugar carbohydrates. So when you go for your white rice, your white bread, your white pasta, they will turn to sugar a lot quicker than your brown varieties. So that's what I'd encourage you to do. Give it a go and see how you get on. The thing I noticed that I had a lot of night sweats. So there were nights I'd wake up in the middle of the night and my clothes, my bed clothes, my night clothes would be soaking wet, and I'd have to change them. And that wasn't a nice feeling. And also having, you know, a quilt on the bed for obviously my husband, I'd like be throwing the quilt off because I'm too hot. The next minute I'm too cold, so I'm pulling it back on. So there was just so much going on. But I found that exercise also helps. So you don't have to stress yourself out. You don't have to go over the top. But even a little walk, a 20-minute walk every other day. If you can do it every day, it'd be fantastic. You'll feel the benefits. If not, try and do it every other day. Also, strength training is fantastic in this time of life, because as we know that in the menopause, we can be prone to osteoporosis, which is a thinning of the bones. And in order to maintain our bones, we have to do a bit of strength training, especially in this time of life. So a bit of strength training, you don't have to go over the top. You don't have to go to the levels of, you know, bodybuilding, and you won't get a body like a bodybuilder unless you go extreme. So ladies, I encourage you to do a bit of weightlifting 2-3 times a week to build up your bones, to help you keep your bones and maintain your muscle mass. That is very, very important. So our estrogen levels can rise, and we don't really want that. We want to have a balance of our progesterone and our estrogen. Those are the two key hormones we need to pay attention to. Now, if we get too much estrogen, we are then classed as estrogen dominant. And when we become estrogen dominant, that's when our hormones are out of whack. And we don't want that, because it could then lead to different symptoms, different illnesses that we don't want. So in order to keep our system pristine at this time of life, ladies, we really, really, really need to get on top of our diet, on top of exercising, and everything we can in order to maintain a balance in our hormones. Now we can look at signs of, put my tea down a minute, estrogen dominance. We could suffer with chronic migraines. This could be a sign, and it may not happen for everyone, but this could be a sign. Chronic migraines, mood swings, acne, inability to lose weight, and insomnia. So those could be signs of estrogen dominance. The other causes of imbalance could be pesticides. So pesticides from our fruit and our vegetables can upset our hormones. And I know that we don't think about it, but the pesticide is not natural. It's not something that our bodies should ingest. So if we could go more on the organic side of fruit and vegetables, especially the vegetables that we eat the skin. So if we're eating the skins of apples, pears, and all fruits like that, and vegetables like potatoes, ensure that we go for the more organic types, because we reduce the level of pesticides on our foods. Now also, plastics is another thing that can cause an imbalance in our hormones. So plastics from water bottles, from our containers that we bring our sandwiches in. If we don't go for BPA free, it's a long name, so I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. But if we look for containers that are BPA free, we'll give ourselves a fighting chance of not having those leach into our foods and our drinks. And if we are buying drinks or bottles of drinks, water, try and go for glass bottles. I know they're slightly more expensive, but it's worth it for your health. We don't want the pesticides, we don't want the BPA. So if we go for plastic bottles or glass bottles, that is fantastic. Also, rancid oils and fats can cause an imbalance, birth control pills, and cholesterol medication. So all these things can cause an imbalance in our hormones. Right, there are a lot of things we can do, and I'll go into those a bit later. But what I wanted to say was the perimenopause, the transition from the perimenopause to the menopause, you can have similar symptoms in both, in the menopause and the perimenopause. And things like, as I said, stopping and resuming your periods, that is the perimenopause telling you that, yes, you're going into the menopause. and the symptoms could be the same as your PMS symptoms. So you could feel bloating and, as I said, mood swings. So it's important to understand how your body actually operates, and then you can identify when things are not quite right. Also, if you feel that you're having some physiological changes, you know, you don't quite feel yourself, you feel a bit depressed, you feel a bit down, you know, those could be signs that you are going through the perimenopause leading into the menopause. Ladies, another thing that you could face in the menopause is vaginal atrophy, which is a thinning, inflammation, and drying of the vaginal wall. And that in turn can cause painful intercourse. There is a cream on the market that is 100% natural. You can buy a water-based version or a plant-based version, and the cream is called Yes. Yes, it's actually called Yes. And you can buy this from Holland & Barrett, or you can get it online from probably Amazon. So yes, that all may help you out. You can give it a go and see how you get on. And also it's important to have a discussion with your partner and let him know what's going on, so you can decide how to deal with this issue. But I think the menopause can be a fantastic time for you to reinvent yourself as a woman and take on a new challenge, be a bit more creative. I mean, it's a nice time because you start to reflect on what you've done in your life, and you start to think, you know, have I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve? And what can I do to change this? So it could be a good time for you to be creative and find something else to do, change your career. You know, it could be a nice time, and not having a period is a blessing. Well, I've found it a blessing. I've really enjoyed, you know, the time where I haven't had to go through the pain, you know, taking medication, because I took Nurofen for years, you know, and that can't be good for your body. So I try and do things now as naturally as I can. And I recommend that if you can, go as natural as possible, be diet, exercise, herbs. Try and find herbs that can help you in this time of life. I'd say try that before trying anything else. And see how you get on. Just give it a go and see how you get on. Now I'm going to tell you about a few things that can actually help you. So hormone helpers, things that I would recommend to balance your hormones, to help your hormones, will be a lot of raw foods, which I've been saying before. Your diet is very important. Now, read about the Mediterranean diet being fantastic in this time of life. So give it a go. Eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, olive oils, a bit of wild fish, which would be brilliant. Your B numbers are very, very good hormone helpers. So your B6, and you can get that in fish, oats, bananas. Your B9s you can get in beans, like your kidney beans, your black beans, your chickpeas, your green vegetables, and your fruit. Your B9 you can get from eggs. But if you are a vegan or you're on a plant-based diet, it's very, very difficult to get it. So I'd suggest a supplement. But if, on the whole, if you went for a B complex for your overall health, that would help your hormones. Right, the other thing I was thinking of for removing the bad estrogens, that can be helped. You can help yourself out with food. So foods like berries, citrus peels from lemons, limes, oranges, iodine from seaweed, cruciferous vegetables, which are your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your kales, your watercress. There's a whole long list of cruciferous vegetables that you can have a look at, and I'm sure there will be something on there that you can enjoy. Right, to inhibit your bad estrogen, you can try teas like chamomile, wild nettle root tea, and also there's a supplement that you could take that's derived from grapes called resveratrol. So resveratrol derived from grapes will also inhibit your bad estrogen. hormone builders. So build up your hormones. We can use coconut products. So you can have coconut milk, coconut oil, anything from the coconut family. You can use maca powder. Maca powder is well known for helping women going through the menopause. Maca powder, yes. And DHA from fish, or you can buy that in a fish oil supplement. That helps. And royal jelly. So all these are things that we can do, take, that are natural, that should help us get over having an imbalance in our progesterone and estrogen levels. And also exercise will play a fantastic role in that. The other thing we have to make sure we do as women is get sleep, good quality sleep. So I'd say 7 to 9 hours a night. Try and get as much sleep as you can, because not having enough sleep can also disrupt your hormones, and that's important to know. Sleep is very, 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 very important, and it's key. And find ways to de-stress. So, I mean, some people may say that exercise is stressful, but if you try and do something that is not stressful, like going for a walk. I don't think going for a walk is stressful. Go out, get some fresh air, take in the sunlight, taking some vitamin D at the same time, when the sun's out, that is. Yes, so go out for a walk. That will help you to de-stress. Get on the trampoline if you've got one. Run up and down the stairs. Do some lunges in the kitchen while you're cooking. That's a bit ambitious, I know, but you can try anything. Just move, basically. I think movement is very important for everyone, and the more you move, the more better you're going to feel. You're going to feel the benefits of exercise. Women, it's important that you do this for your own benefit, for your own health, and also remember to tune into your bodies. Understand how your own body functions and what doesn't feel right to you. And if something doesn't feel right, go in, book and see your GP. Go and have a chat with him or her and let them know what you're going through and what you're feeling. And they may be able to do a test. I know when I went to my GP, they said they didn't really want to do a test. They wanted to see how long I could go without a period. And there are other GPs that would actually do a test and let you know whether or not you are going through the perimenopause or the menopause. But it's important to understand your body and how your body functions. And a indicator could be how your own mother went through the menopause. She may be able to give you some tips on what she went through, and you may have a similar experience to your own mother. But I think that every woman is an individual. We all go through this differently. We may have some common things in some things in common in terms of symptoms, but I think that it's important for you to understand your own body and take it from there. Right, also, yes, water. I forgot water. Ensure that you drink loads of water, because during the menopause you can sweat a lot, especially if you're getting your hot flashes and you're having your night sweats. Try and drink your 2 liters of water a day, and that will help replenish and replace the water that you've actually lost. So ladies, I think that is it. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Please let me know if there's anything that you'd like to know about, any more information that you need. And I would also like you to share this with your men so they understand what the menopause and the perimenopause is about, and be able to support you, because it's good to have a supportive partner that understands what you're going through, and they can be supportive. I would like to address the male menopause in my next session. So please comment down below and let me know if your men would be interested in hearing from my husband and how he deals with maintaining his testosterone level. Because women have to deal with the progesterone, men have to deal with the testosterone. Yes, we do. Women do have testosterone, but not to the levels that men have. And men have to maintain their testosterone levels and ensure that the levels are high enough to keep them throughout the andropause, which is the male version of the menopause. So if your men are interested, please comment down below and let me know. And I'll have, let me know if they want to hear from my husband. Let me know and I'll invite him along and we'll have a session about the andropause. And then we can ask him some questions about what he actually does to maintain his testosterone levels. Please hit that notification bell. Please comment, share and subscribe. And thank you all for coming back and hopefully see you on the next video. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.